Hey, welcome back. This is the last video I'm doing for today. This is like video number 3 or 4, and it's a Friday and it's hot outside and I'm almost gonna pack it in here. But I thought I would do a video and just talk about something that's kind of important, something that I think you should think about in terms of like what can happen with Bitcoin Cash in the future. We've had a really great pump in the last 48 hours and it's amazing, and it could continue over the weekend or it could correct and crash. We'll find out. But there's been a lot to celebrate. But there hasn't been really news coverage about it. It hasn't been talked about, in Google News. There's not a lot of people on YouTube talking about it, just a few. And it certainly hasn't been mentioned on the Financial News Network. It hasn't been covered at all, from what I can tell, on the financial news networks. And, also, they've never even mentioned, like, the Bitcoin Grayscale Trust, the BCHG fund. They never mentioned that, like the fact that that thing has grown over 200% since the beginning of the year. That's crazy. That's crazy returns. Like, what you would think the financial networks would talk about that or mention that, but they haven't. They're all under their stocks and everything. That it's kind of standard old school, and they don't want to mention the BCHG Trust. Why would you do that? And what is Bitcoin Cash? They don't want to look into that. They don't want to mention that. They don't put that on their pricing tickers when they come out on screen and they show the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum and such. They never list Bitcoin Cash. What's going to happen one day when they do? When the news outlets and the news networks start to pick up on Bitcoin Cash and they start to talk about it, when they start to write articles about it, and when a whole lot more people on YouTube are putting out content about it, right? It's super important that we have that coverage, but we've been able to achieve the pump that we have without any of that coverage and without any real news source or news thing that we can point to other than the EDX exchange, which is a big deal. It's a big deal, but I don't know if that is accounted for the pump that we've seen. I think it's accounted for some of it. I don't know how much. Just imagine what Bitcoin Cash can do when we start to get actual traction and recognition in the market, like in the news, and we start to get Bitcoin Cash covered. I was watching a video on a channel called Cryptocurrency Theory, and I forget the guy's name who does videos there, but he was making a point similar to this, like, we haven't had coverage of Bitcoin Cash, and look, it's still done what it's done, even without coverage. And it's a really important point. I want to give him credit. I forget his name, but Cryptocurrency Theory is his channel. So if you search for it, you can find his stuff, which I would recommend. He does some good content on Bitcoin Cash. But it's important to just think about that. Like, if with the opportunities that are out there, like, I mean, what are things going to look like when they actually start to cover Bitcoin Cash, like the big news outlets? Think about that. Like, they haven't covered an equity that people can buy right through their brokerage account, the BCHG Trust. They have not covered the fact that has had 200% gains since the beginning of the year. They would kill for those kind of returns in their stocks and their other ETFs that they have, but they haven't talked about it. And someday they will, but by the time they talk about it, it's going to have just done phenomenal. I think that maybe they'll mention it when we're at the height of the bull run. We'll see. And we'll see. And, this move that we made with Bitcoin Cash, it might be short-lived, or it might be a stepping stone, just a stepping stone to get us to a higher price point along the path on our journey to the next bull run, which probably is going to happen next year, probably Q3, Q4. It really depends on when. I think the halvening for Bitcoin is late spring, maybe early summer. I can't remember exactly right now. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad here. Certainly feels nice. It's really hot out today. But anyway, I just want to mention that. Just imagine what we can get for gains on Bitcoin Cash when it's actually being covered, when it's being mentioned, when there are more eyeballs on it. Because right now there are eyeballs on it, but not nearly as many as what we could have when we have more coverage. So anyway, that's it for this video. I'm taking off. I will probably do some videos over the weekend, but that's it for today, Friday. I'm gonna cash it in here. That's it for me. I'm gonna be watching the Bitcoin Cash price pretty closely because I'm interested to see what we can do over the weekend, and we'll see. Might post an update depending on what happens. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, good luck, God bless, Godspeed.